Okay, so this was meant to be my first review video, and I had all this planned to do this painting and speed paint and all this jazz, right? Well, my camera had other plans. I forgot to change setting, and so it didn't catch nearly all of the beginning of my video, and the battery was dying. So, lesson learned. So what I was trying to review was the Uni Ball Signo pen. I heard about it from another YouTuber, and so I wanted to give it a shot. I bought it off of Wish. Originally I was using the jelly roll that everybody else uses, but I wanted to try something a little bit different because I did not like the way this pen looked. I had a chart, and my deal was it wasn't like dark enough. So I had a chart that I had made up for all my pens because I had quite a few, and I wanted to double check what worked with what because I kept forgetting and I didn't want to ruin another picture. So I had watercolor, alcohol marker, gel pen, whatever. So the deal with this one was that my gel pen, the one that I was using, the jelly roll, just wasn't dark enough in some places. So I went in my original draft of the video, I went and I swatched this Signo pen on a couple, and it looks like it did pretty good on the 10K brush pen, which was this refillable guy right here. And completely forgot that I left my video on. Oops, sorry. And the Pentel water brush pen, which was this one right here. I have sepia. Those did not like the Signo, but everything else seemed to like it okay. The Zig Kuretake, that's how you pronounce it, the comic brush, was fine. The Copic brush was fine. The Bimoji pens were fine. Sakura Microns and Pigmas were good too. Like, those did the best on it. No problems. It was really nice. And then I did a test. I went ahead and did a color pencil test where I went ahead and I quickly did a color pencil eye, and I used this. And the one thing that I noticed about this pen is that it's kind of thick. Like, the ink is very thick. This one right here, this eyeball's on my Instagram. I use the jelly roll pen for this one, and my issue is some of the color tends to migrate, and I really hate that. I want it to stay white. So that's one of the reasons why I want to try this. I did notice on this one that despite the fact that it was really thick, it didn't migrate, which was very, very nice. The only thing is I can't really do small details. Like, I tried to do it right here, and it just was kind of splotchy, so I went in with the jelly roll, and it did okay. I also did a Cupcake Test. I don't waste paper. I tend to draw multiple drawings on one paper, so these were my first attempts, and I messed up, so ignore them. And then I do my swatching too. So this was my attempt at the alcohol markers, and it did just fine. I didn't have any color migration. It was beautiful. The only thing was it was really thick. So when I tried to do this star thing, it just wasn't working. So I think with those kind of shapes, depending on how big of your space, you're better off using a brush and some Pro White, which I have used and I really like. And let me see if I can find my Pro White. Oh, there it is. So Pro White by Daler and Roney. There's a couple other ones. I know Deleter makes one. I've never used it, but this stuff, a lot of my supplies are from when I was in college, which was like a million years ago, and they all still work for the most part. So the Pro White is, sometimes it can dry out, but you can revive it with a little bit of water, and it's just like a really nice whiteout. Professional whiteout, I guess is what you can call it. So I've used that, and that's probably the best, and now this doesn't want to close off. Okay. So that might be a good recommendation for something like that if you're doing shapes, to maybe do something a little bit different, or maybe try a different pen. I do want to get a Posca pen, the fine ones, and try those too, and I will do a video of course of that. So then those are the mediums I use, and I did a watercolor. Like, this was the one that I was planning on doing this really nice speed paint, and my camera crapped out on me. So let's test it out on watercolor paper and see what we get. And I'm just going to do a quick check of my camera, make sure it's still going. So, excuse me. And let's see. Okay, we're still good. Well, I'm getting used to this camera. It's a Nikon D3400, and I've never used it for video, but I've used it for taking pictures. And I really like it. I think it's really nice for pictures. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it for video just yet. I think I will find out soon enough. So it glides over the watercolor really nicely. Now, because it's so thick, I'm having a lot of trouble getting a nice thin line to progress with it. I mean, here's the jelly roll. And the jelly roll, I mean, it's like, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of got a pokier end versus this one, versus Signo. So you can kind of get away with some thinner lines here. Let's see what I can do. So this is just, again, continuing with this really nice. I didn't realize I was doing the jelly pen. Oh, I was supposed to be doing this one. Anyways, yeah, see, it really flows heavy, and I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I suppose it's good for dotting and like the little dots on the eyeballs and all that, but overall, I probably wouldn't use it on the regular. Dang it, now I got it all messed up there. Will that work on this piece? Around by this pen. Okay. So I guess the hunt continues for me to find a better pen. I'm not a huge fan of this one. So, I mean, does it work over watercolor? It works over watercolor. It really does. But my big issue with this pen is it's just, the tip is too thick. I can't get a fine line, and that's like a big deal breaker for me because I really like the progression between thick and thin lines. And like, I did this little thing here for the jelly roll, and I'll do it again. I mean, heck. So this is a jelly roll, and you see it's not very, I think opaque is the word. I always got confused between opaque and all that. Anyways, and this is the Signo. So, didn't want to start. So you can see kind of the thickness of that compared to the jelly roll. And it's wider, but I just don't know if this is the kind of pen for me. It might be better for somebody else. I bought this one off of Wish, so I didn't spend a ton on it. I'll probably still use it for like eyeball shinies because it seemed to work pretty well for that. And maybe like outside lines, you know, like I did with this gold pen. But as far as regular use, I'm just not a fan. And it sucks because I was really looking forward to liking this one because I heard such good things about it. But there's still the Posca paint pen I gotta try. So as soon as I get a chance to try that and get one, I will have to make a video and see if that one is any good. I don't know when that's gonna be because I have been laid off, and so money is like, I can't really, well, I'm bad. I bought some markers and stuff, but that will be talked about later. It's the Studio 71 alcohol markers, and I use these Blick Illustrator markers, and they're not like, I mean, they have the chisel tip and the brush tip, and maybe I'll do a review on these. I have actually not seen very many reviews of those. I've seen the other ones that are refillable, the studio markers, but not the illustration markers, so I may do that. So anyways, it's up to you. It depends on what you like. So this one, not a big hit with me. And this paper too was kind of poo-poo. So if you go and you see the Master's Touch Fine Art Watercolor, don't get it. It's good for swatching, I guess, but it just can't stand up to lots of water. But that's a entirely different thing. So anyways, thanks for watching. If there's any suggestions that y'all have, I would love to hear it, because I've never done this before. So real fast, I'll list the supplies that I used in the description in case you're curious, and you know, go ahead and subscribe. And I'm gonna try to do videos every Friday, but we'll see how my schedule goes, because I have a 4-year-old and I have other commitments. So anyways, thanks so much and have a great night.